What's up, everybody? Welcome to FPL Source Game Week 12 preview. I'm here joined, as always, by Jade and Kyle, and we're going to have a look back at what happened in the international break and before that, and look ahead to this week's fixtures. And we're going to just jump straight into it with the news, views, and views. Jade?
Yes, thank you very much. So we obviously got a couple price rises. Salah's now on 13 mil. Kane's gone up a little bit. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, James, Neil Smith-Rowe, Gallagher. Fallers, Firmino, Ings, Grealish, Mount, and Gray. Player availabilities. Robertson pulled up with a hamstring in Scotland's game. McTominay also didn't play with illness. Broja's got something with the ankle. Shaw, head injury, concussion, possibly. Mane and Firmino are out, so that could be better for Jota. And there's a couple more. Grealish should probably play the internationals. Mount, Dental, a lot of those are back. The only main one that will not play is mostly Sanchez because he's suspended, obviously, with that red card. Then in some extra news, Dean Smith's fixture was sacked by Aston Villa on the 7th of November and hired by Norwich on the 15th of November. Just so you know, that's Dean Smith.
And he's Keen Smith.
In case you didn't catch. And then Daniel Farke obviously sacked on the 6th of the 11th. Eddie Howe returns 8th of the 11th. Steven Gerrard, 11-11. He joins Aston Villa. Sergio Aguero, I don't know if you guys have heard side news. He might be having a heart condition and might have to retire soon. So very weird stuff there going on. And all 20 Premier League teams decided not to join the biannual World Cup, which is probably better for the players' sake. Then in the top of the chart so far, we've got Chelsea, City, West Ham, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, and Brighton. So West Ham are doing some things up top there. In views this week, we've got the legendary Shikshtish. Got to say that with the Sean Connery accent. These are all the guys that have managed to make it to 60 so far. So Salah's up there banging as the OG, still the only one to make 100 points. Cancelo's now second up there. Trent Alexander-Arnold, James, Gallagher, Antonio, and Vardy are the only other ones that have made 60 points. Fixtures to look out for, we've got Leeds versus Chelsea. Or Leicester versus Chelsea, should I say. That should be a good one. Leicester's had a lot of recovery time. Not many people playing internationals for them. Watford versus Man United. Wolves versus West Ham. Liverpool versus Arsenal is probably the biggest one of the week. Man City versus Everton. And Tottenham versus Leeds. So we should get to see some of the new managers as well. Conte, Eddie Howe, etc. Differentials. McCarthy is a good differential. Ramsdale. Lowton, low ownership. Cornet. Bowen, Trossard, Havertz, Jota, and Wilson. I think Jota might be going up considering some of the Liverpool injuries this week. Teams with form so far, West Ham definitely. They went and beat Liverpool the week before. Arsenal's doing pretty good these days. Crystal Palace definitely up there as well. City and Southampton. Then in the news for this week, there weren't too many, but the main features were the red cards. There were quite a couple last game week. So these are all the players that got red cards and got suspended. Be Sanchez, which was the 1-1 draw versus Newcastle. Kucha, which was a 0-1 to Arsenal, so that could have cost us Watford. And Holgate in the Tottenham game, which was a draw, so that one didn't lead to any loss of points as much. Alisson's own goal possibly could have cost, actually didn't only, or could have, it did cost Liverpool their top 3 spots and obviously the win in that game. So yeah, West Ham went above them. And then I do have a sneaky little picture of the bottom 3 still. We've got Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich. Norwich is still at the bottom, tied with Newcastle, but Newcastle is still winless. Norwich do have a win. So quite a turnaround there.
Cool. Well, you guys can find the Source Pot, which is our weekly newspaper, on our Twitter and Facebook. So yeah, check that out. Kylo, are you ready for your player focus?
Right, let's do the player focus. This week I chose Phil Foden, full focus. I just really wanted to do a Man City player.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you really wanted to make that pun. So this whole segment is based on that.
No, I'm just extremely happy that I can do a Man City player. That's all. So jumping straight into it, guys. Game week 12, Watford versus United. I'm not too sure about this. Cristiano Ronaldo as a captaincy option. We'll see. Liverpool versus Arsenal, Mo Salah, definite captaincy option. I think I would be too scared to not captain Mo Salah. I think most people, yeah. I'll put you Spurs versus Leeds, Kane, and City versus Everton, Foden. Kevin De Bruyne could also be in that conversation, but he hasn't returned very well recently, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, those are all good options.
Yeah, they are really good options. Game week 13, guys. Liverpool versus Southampton. Mohamed Salah. I think he's just going to bang like he has been doing. To the next fixture, Arsenal versus Newcastle. I was a little bit skeptical to put this in here. I gave my head a little bit of a tilt, but I put Aubameyang's name anyway. I'm not too sure about my decision-making capabilities on this one, but I believe Arsenal could probably bang a few past
You
Newcastle.
spelt it
Definitely
right.
points there.
Yeah, I feel it, you know.
Aubameyang.
Yeah, you spelt it right this time at least.
I did. I made sure to do that. Game week 14, Watford versus Chelsea. I put Reece James because I think his scoring potential, his assist potential, and his clean sheet potential are all up there. So he's probably the main captaincy option, in my opinion, for a Chelsea player. There's some really difficult fixtures in and amongst these game weeks, guys. So
Who's
the players
Liverpool
that I
playing in
chose,
game week 14?
true.
Huh?
Say
No.
again, sorry?
Who is Liverpool playing in that week?
Liverpool, I can check for you, but I think it's not a very interesting
Yeah,
fixture.
it's probably a
It
top
could be
six.
United.
Yeah, possibly could be.
I think it's
don't know.
United. But I'll check. I'll
United just played
definitely check
Liverpool,
for
so
you.
it can't be United. Let
So
me
there's
check.
a reason. There's a reason I didn't put a Liverpool player in there. Aston Villa versus City, guys. Phil Foden. Kevin De Bruyne's name is also in there, like I mentioned previously. Spurs versus Brentford. By this stage, Conte will have 3 weeks with the team.
Yeah,
So
could be a big difference.
it could be a very big difference.
Salah
Kane,
is playing Everton in game week 14, so I don't think
Everton.
that's
So that's
a bad fixture.
Merseyside.
I don't think that's bad.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
dirty.
Merseyside derbies don't necessarily always produce the most goals, do they?
Nah, they can be pretty big, but in terms of Everton's defensive capabilities at the moment, I think that it's not deserving of a 4 out of 5 on the fixture ticker. I think that's
True.
way easier.
True. So Mo Salah's name should probably be there. Diogo Jota's name should probably be there as well. That's also a definite option.
Big differential there.
Moving on to differential captaincy options, guys. Gallagher versus Burnley this week. There are a few good captaincy options. That's why I put him as a differential captaincy option. But I like
still scared.
Crystal Palace under Vieira. I like them.
Yeah,
So I
I'm still
think
scared
it's gonna
about
go
the Salah potential there at a home game versus Arsenal. Bit
Yeah,
frightening.
it is a bit frightening. You're right. You're 100% correct. Game week 13, Jimenez versus Norwich. I always like to pick on Norwich, guys. You know that. Differential captaincy option. It's my favorite team to pick on this season.
It's worked.
Vardy versus Southampton in game week 14 is also a potential captaincy option. There are a few good captaincy options for that game week, including Mo Salah. But I could doff my cap to Vardy as well against Southampton. Moving on.
He's due a biggie.
Yeah,
He is due a biggie.
I don't know. Vardy, his expected goals for the past 4 matches have been like 74th out of all players. So
I know, but he does this.
Horrible.
He has a Vardy party for a month, and then he goes and rests and recovers for the next month, and then he brings back Vardy.
Whenever I see Vardy on the pitch, I picture a Zimmer frame right in front of him, because that's how old he is. So
man, he's like the same age as Ronaldo.
I don't like having him in my team, but yeah. Right, guys, this week's player focus. Phil Foden. Versus Everton. In his career, Phil has 4 wins playing for Man City, 0 draws, 0 losses, and 2 goals, which I thought was quite impressive because he's new into the first team. This is his first season, I think, playing out and out in the first team, and he's already scored 2 goals versus Everton. Moving on to West Ham, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, and 1 goal. And guys, I found some very interesting information. Phil Foden, in his entire career in the Premier League, has 0 yellow cards and 0 red cards.
Wow.
I thought that was very, like, he's a very disciplined player. Excuse my stutter. And this is his first season in the first team, guys. So
Well, not necessarily his
I like
first season, but from the beginning of the season, he's being used more. I mean, last
Yeah.
season he was used quite a bit, but only towards the
Yeah,
end.
towards the tail end of the season, he was used quite a bit. But this, I'm saying, the start of the season, his name is on that play sheet.
Yeah, I saw
It
something
really is.
crazy. Like I think before this last English game against San Marino, before that he started I think like 10 consecutive games for club and country, midweek
Wow,
and on the weekend. So he played 90 minutes weekend, midweek, weekend. Like for 3 weeks in
Yeah.
a row. So that's crazy. He really
it
is
is
getting a lot
crazy.
of time now. He's a fit
And guys,
player.
he's still young. He's only 21, hey?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm very impressed with his overall play and his goal scoring potential.
Cool. Looking
Nice.
like. So, quick question before we go on. Because Jota is going to be so nailed now with Firmino out and Origi out and possibly even Mane out, who would be more important to get into your team? Phil Foden or Diego Jota?
So I think the rotation risk of Phil Foden is probably a bit larger than Diogo Jota's at this current moment in time.
City have a full squad. There's not really any new injuries in those
Even though
positions
he's
right now.
played 90 minutes for the past 10 games.
Yeah, but
So
we
the
know
games
we
are
know
going to come
Pep,
thick and fast now. I don't know if you
Pep,
guys
Pep,
saw,
Pep. Yeah.
but
Sorry, Kyle, you can go.
sorry, Jade. Game week 14 is at the end of November. We're already on the 17th of November. So all 3 game weeks are going to be played bam, bam, bam.
But that's basically exactly how he was playing because he was playing weekend, then he was playing midweek in the Champions League or the Carabao Cup or whatever, and then he would play on the
Yeah.
weekend again. So now, if
So
all those three
that's
fixtures are just Premier League fixtures, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to get rested for one of them.
true.
No, it doesn't. I mean, he can play, but at the same time, we just know Pep and his rotation. He doesn't
So,
risk
so would you guys
players,
then
and he
say
likes to
Jota
keep. I think he's more guaranteed because we know Firmino's not going to be back anytime soon with a
only
hamstring. So I
until
think
December
Jota,
though? He's only going to be out
yeah, which is
for a couple of
which is
weeks.
still a couple of game weeks, but it's nailed on. Like he's going to start. The only competition Jota has is that new Oki that was at Southampton last season. It's not Simicas, it's the other guy. That Chinese oak or Asian oak. I'm
Oh,
sorry about that.
Minamino,
Not Chinese. Yeah, Minamino. There we
Oh,
go.
yes.
Mini.
minis.
He's the only competition that's for Jota's spot. So I mean, I think he's more nailed on than Foden will be.
Okay, so short term Jota, long term Foden.
Phil,
Definitely.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Well, in saying that, we're going to skip straight over Saucer Meter this week because we've got a little bit of a shorter episode and go straight into Jade's team from last week. Or the week before, should I say, the last game week. Tell us how you did.
I did all right. Not too bad. I was one of the 1%ers who didn't captain Salah that week. I captained Reece James, and I actually got more of a return than Salah did. So I was quite pleased with myself.
Well done.
Not gonna lie, I
Almost
was
got a
worried
monster
about that
haul.
because James played the game before. Well, I think the day before Liverpool played, and so obviously waiting for the Liverpool fixture after such a low return there, and also they were going to get a clean sheet. I think something happened and they lost their clean sheet bonus, so he was flying on like 18 points for most of the game, and to see it get dumped all the way down there was quite a
Yeah, that's tough.
disappointment. Obviously, Sanchez, a lot of people got that -1 there. Foster on my bench with a fat 11, so it's just like
The one week
double
that I
staring
don't
at
play
you.
him again. Foster has been, he's been annoying.
I know,
Yeah, I
hey,
bet me
right?
too.
And Duffy, obviously, with not too much. Livramento, another clean sheet. Happy to have him. Smith Rowe, another return. Salah with an assist. Gallagher with man of the match performance there. Crystal Palace getting all 3 points as well. Rafinha 9. De Bruyne 3. So he's joined the Jack Grealish club over there. Vardy with 2 and Jimmy with 2. So my forwards didn't do too well, but my backline and my mids came to the rescue there. And then in terms of my bench, nothing much going on there. So I played the best team I could.
Nice. And then what did you move
Well,
from
quite
into?
faster. I moved from, I think I was in the 900s, and now I'm 721k.
Cool, moving on up.
I got 61
done.
points.
It's that
Climb those
captain
rankings.
choice, Maverick.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, how about you tell us how you did?
So this past week, I scored 62 points. My defense is basically carrying my entire squad at this moment in time, except for Sanchez's red card, obviously. I had Ben Foster on the bench. Lovely 11 point on the bench. Jacques Cancelo 14, Alexander Arnold 12, Mo Salah I think 5 points, so 10 from that. Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne blanked, Son blanked, Jimenez blanked, but I still managed to climb the rankings somehow. So I moved
So it's two
from
fat defenders over there.
Yeah.
I've got a good clump of defenders. Bet's been very good. I'm very happy.
And what were
That
you
was
and
a
what
good
did you
move.
end up as?
I managed to climb. Yeah, I was 870 and now I'm 650. Okay.
Nice.
So I climbed a decent amount.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, so now you
But
guys
yeah,
have the
other than
red
that, we can
card.
move on.
You guys have the red card on your keeper, the keeper transfer that I had to do last week. Now you feel my pain.
Well, we still have Foster though, so
If I went from Araya to Sanchez, I would have stopped playing FPL, honestly. But yeah,
that
anyways,
would be quite
yeah,
quite a
my
bump.
my mini league rival did that. He also had Araya, and he he chose out of random from the 5 best 4.5 keepers, and he landed on Sanchez. So now he's even more
Hey.
upset. So sad. Anyways, so I'm gonna just
Let's
quickly
have a look
take
at your
you.
team, Brando.
Yeah, quickly take you through my team. So, as I said, I transferred out Raya for Ramsdale this week, who did return, but not as much as Foster on my bench, but I'm not going to be too upset about that. Then I spent the whole week trying to figure out which defender to bench, and I chose Livermento because Duffy had an easy fixture and Chelsea. I wasn't going to bench a Chelsea defender. Meanwhile, Livermento returned both Chelsea defenders blanked, Duffy blanked, and then Cancelo came good with a 14-pointer, cheeky assist versus my own team. He was going to be the one that was going to be benched if Livermento wasn't, so I'm happy I chose him in the end. Then Rafinha got a nice goal. He's ticking over. Smith Rowe's been doing me great things, keeping my head afloat. Salah, as you said, sort of a weak captaincy this week with 5 points. Then my forward line, Ronaldo 1 point, Jimenez 2, Antonio 2. Very boring. Very, very low.
Considering there
scoring.
was 3 goals in that West Ham game and Antonio wasn't one of them,
Yeah.
it's getting quite
Yeah.
becoming quite a problem here.
Same as the week before that. I think there was 4 goals and he didn't
Yeah.
return. So 7 goals and
Exactly.
he hasn't returned. But he will. He will. I'm keeping faith. All right. Well, yeah. By the way, I dropped just 1,000 from 10,000 to 11,000. So not too bad, but not too
But when
great.
you're
Kind
that
of a grey
high,
arrow.
1,000 isn't just 1,000. It's quite a
Yeah,
bit.
full 10% of my rank. But anyways, Jade, tell us your plans for this week.
Right, for this week, I've already made a couple of transfers. I was a bit impatient and decided to just go with it. I was tired of KDB, and so releasing those funds, my cash cow, money horse, dollar donkey, whatever you want to call them, released them into the universe, and I managed to bring in Alexander-Arnold for Tierney and Cancelo for Williams, which, if you look at those costs, that's quite a big jump. And then I brought in Jota for KDB. So now I am running around with 3 Liverpool players, which is not too bad considering their fixtures. So yeah, this week I'm planning on captaining Salah. Home game Arsenal, we spoke about it, but there's not too many other people with better fixtures. Maybe Gallagher, but iffy. Burnley still have a really good defense, so it's hard to break them down some weeks. And none of my defensive fixtures look too appealing in terms of captaining and getting a guaranteed clean sheet. Maybe Cancelo, Everton, City versus Everton, not too sure. But as for now,
Livermento
it's
boy.
Salah.
Captain Livermento.
Livermento's playing. He's playing. I even got Vardy on the bench there versus Chelsea for Liver. You gotta. He just pulled me
You
12
have to,
points,
I
and
think.
since I've owned him, I've got him 2 game weeks ago. I've got 12 points off the guy. So
Yeah.
Dude, you've
He's
got
doing me
Smith
good.
Rowe and Vardy on the bench.
Oof.
I do.
Like,
Smith
and
Rowe plays
Duffy.
Liverpool. How do you
And
play?
Duffy.
How do you play Smith Rowe versus Liverpool? That's just not going to happen. And Vardy versus Chelsea. I'm slightly, the only player I'm concerned about is Rafinha versus Tottenham. To be honest, after this long window, I'm not sure what kind of team Conte is going to bring out. But I feel like Vardy for Rafinha might be my only doubts. But yeah, that's much of a muchness, to be honest. I can't see Leicester scoring too many against Chelsea. I don't know. I'm a bit undecided there. What's your opinion?
Are you
You've got some
going?
squad depth.
Yeah. Are you gonna save Sanchez on the bench and wait till he recovers, or what?
Yeah,
just
he's
gonna
only
play
out for
faster?
like one. Yeah, I'm gonna play faster in the meantime. But yeah, just in terms of Vardy or Rafinha, which would you guys go?
Vardy.
I would play Rafinha because you're playing James. So if you're playing Vardy and
Yeah.
James, you can't return from both of them. So
Counter.
Oh, true.
It's
Hey.
counter. But still, in terms of who would get the most points, but taking that out the equation, I still feel like Leeds have a better chance to score against a really weak Tottenham.
Agreed. I
Compared
don't think
to, like,
Leicester's playing well. I don't think Vardy's
Chelsea.
playing well. So yeah,
No, they haven't had the best form.
I think you're right how you are right now. If Livramento doesn't play, then Vardy can come on. I think you're good.
No way. Well, that's my team.
And captaincy is sticking with Salah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to change that.
Okay. Well, Kyle, quickly take us through your team.
All right, guys. I made one transfer this week. I sold Sanchez for Guiata because Crystal Palace have better fixtures than Brighton for the next 5 to 6 game weeks. So I made that executive decision to do that. I was thinking of letting go of Kevin De Bruyne, but I think I'm going to give him one more game week. My
Could
cash
be a huge
cow
differential still for this week.
Yeah, so
he is still a huge.
I'm going to keep him.
I
definitely thought about it.
The one thing that strikes me about your team, there's no Chelsea defender.
Yeah, so that's a big problem in my books as well. I definitely need a Chelsea defender, either Rudiger or James to come in. So once I let go of Kevin, or I let go of Son, depending on how they perform, I will upgrade my attack and defense with that, because I've got 2 transfers next week.
Cool. Okay, looking good. And then captaincy Salah.
Captaincy Mo Salah. I'm too scared to not captain anyone else.
Ooh, if I was you, Son would be tempting me right now.
I'm very tempted. But I don't want the disappointment of dropping.
Yeah,
right.
Not gonna lie, being that 0.1% that Captain James, while like 98% Captain Salah was quite the weekend. My heart
must have felt good. Must have felt good.
At the end of the day, but before then, no.
I might be doing that this week. So leading on to my team, it doesn't show it right now, but I'm sneakily planning to maybe captain Ronaldo. So yeah, I don't know. He's just got such a good fixture. There's people on Twitter planning to bring him in this week and captain him. So if I've already got him, surely I should consider him. But yeah, it's a toughie.
I mean, United are due a good run of form. We lost against the big teams, City again. We thrashed Tottenham, so maybe Watford is that next one.
And Ronaldo's Portugal didn't qualify automatically for the World Cup, so he's got fire in his blood, ready to...
Point to prove.
Yeah. But yeah, I did make my transfer, and that was Sarr to Gallagher, who I did plan to do for a while now, but this was the week that it happened. And yeah, I've got no free transfers left, but I've got a lot of plans in the future, which include bringing Trent in and either Foden or Son or Kane even for Ronaldo. So yeah, I have to see this week what happens. It's going to give me a lot of information regarding both Tottenham and Liverpool and City. So a lot of my answers are going to be given to me this week.
Kane's definitely going to start appearing on a lot of watch lists soon. I mean, he had a really good go with internationals, but can he bring it to the Premier League? I'm still yet to see it.
Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, would you keep my bench how it is now? Smith Rowe and Duffy on the bench instead of anyone else?
I would
keep it like that.
Okay, and then
yeah, I don't see Smith Rowe getting too much. I mean, great player, but Liverpool also a little bit too good.
Your keepers have 2 very tough fixtures.
I know. I'm thinking that Ramsdale might pull off a show though, but that makes me also not want to captain Salah. It makes me more inclined to captain Ronaldo, because if I'm backing Ramsdale to save a lot,
I don't think it's going to be a clean sheet, but I do feel like Ramsdale will save quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't think they'll capitulate. For no reason. I really don't think that they'll do a Man U and go 5-0 down. So I think Ronaldo might be on my plate this week if I want a cheeky captain, because if he doesn't return, he's probably going to be out my team for Kane, and if he does return, then he is probably going to stay. So
then it leaves you with some more problems.
Yeah, so it's a cheeky one, but yeah, I'm excited. My team doesn't look too great. I've got some not very many differentials, and I don't have Trent, but we move.
Yeah, Trent and Foden I think are 2 big targets.
Foden definitely is coming soon. Yeah.
And or Jota, that's the thing. That's why I was asking you. I don't know which one I should
Yeah.
transfer in like more urgently.
I think long, like for the full run of the season, Foden is someone you could probably keep in your team. But in
Yeah.
terms of like right now,
If I go right now, like without any price changes, I could get Trent in for Rudiger, Foden in for Rafinha, and Kane in for Ronaldo. Right now,
That looks
without
way
any.
better in my opinion than what your current team looks.
I
I
would hold out on
know.
Kane, but the other two seem
I
seem
can't do
legit.
the other two if I don't downgrade Ronaldo to Kane. That's the thing. I need that 0.2
Ah,
million from him. So it's very frustrating. I could go Jota and Trent for free though. Yeah, so it's tough. I'll have to see. That's why a lot of my
it
answers
is
are going to
tough.
be given to me this week. A lot of my questions are going to be answered.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm glad that FPL is back this week. It's been a long, long international break. And good luck to you guys, and good luck to everybody else.
Good luck to you too.
Yeah, good luck everyone.
Stay
It'll be
saucy,
fun.
San Diego.
Sauce.
Cool. Cheers, guys.